Azalea. Liam and I were on our way back to the pack house. We had spent the rest of our night eating and relaxing. He watched TV while I read a book with my head in his lap. He was the perfect gentleman and did not tease me anymore. I did get a lot of sweet kisses throughout the night. It also did not go unnoticed that he always had a hand on me in some way, holding my hand, holding my waist, rubbing me. All our time together was clearly erasing all the stress and anxiety he felt after I left him at the lake house and got kidnapped. Now we sat in his SUV on the long drive back to the pack. Our hands were interlaced, and he was absent-mindedly running his thumb over my knuckles. We had been riding in comfortable silence for a little while, listening to the radio play some pop songs. "Liam," I started. I was a little hesitant about bursting our bubble after such a wonderful day and night. "Yeah," he said. "I have a question." "Anything," he said, peeking at me. I took a deep breath. "So, I think I should talk to Gavin," I said. He stilled immediately. He was quiet for a moment before saying, "Why, baby?" I sighed. At least it was not an outright no. Well, we know it wasn't entirely his fault with what happened out at the lake house. I think it is only fair to him that we clear the air. My wolf said the blame fell to her. I paused. I was not sure how he was going to take the next part. I also think that since I no longer have a wolf, he doesn't really have his mate. So that sort of makes me his mate by default. And there is no way he can be strong when he is not connected to his mate. He was quiet for a minute, contemplating my words. He finally spoke. "My little Luna, you are far smarter than I give you credit for." "What do you mean?" "Well, Gavin has been out of sorts since I marked you. I never thought about him losing your wolf half. It did not seem to affect you much, so I have not thought much about it. But I guess Gavin would have felt your wolf come forward and then disappear, and that has to be affecting him." He paused for a moment. "I haven't wanted to let him anywhere near you. I know you said you forgive me, but I wasn't sure how you felt about him. If I am being honest, I am not entirely unafraid. There is still a part of me afraid of what he could do given our last meeting. But I do trust what my wolf told me and want to try to forgive him." He brought my hand to his lips, kissing it sweetly. "If it will make you happy, then okay. I will make it happen," he said with a small smile. I leaned over to rest my head on his shoulder. "Thank you," I said. Liam has quickly become the most understanding and thoughtful man I know. I was really proud to call him my mate. When we arrived at the pack house, Lily was waiting outside for us. She seemed to be bouncing with a giddy look on her face. "What is that about?" I asked, giving Liam a look. He chuckled. "Oh, that. Lily was helping me with a little surprise for you," he said. "What are you talking about?" I asked. He smiled as he put the car in park. "Let's go see," he said, very excited. He hopped out of the car and ran around my side to open the door. He did not even wait and grabbed my waist to pick me up right out of the car. I could not help but giggle. He set me down and grabbed my hand, pulling me towards the pack house and awaiting Lily. "What is going on, you two?" I asked as we reached the front door. "Yay! You guys are finally back," she said, jumping up and down. Damien emerged from the front door as she spoke. "Oh, thank God. She is annoying the crap out of me," he said in a bored tone. She turned around and smacked his arm. He rolled his eyes. "Can I please take my mate inside, guys?" Liam said impatiently. "Lily and Damien, let us pass." He held her back as we walked into the house, whispering something in her ear. I looked back at her sad face as Damien held her around her waist. Liam pulled me along to the stairs. "This will be faster if I do this," he said. Taking me by surprise, he scooped me up bridal style in his arms. I quickly grabbed onto his neck. He had a huge smile on his face. He walked quickly up the stairs and down the hall to his bedroom. I gave him a quizzical look. "Lily helped me with this. I hope you like it," he said, opening the door. He carried me into the room, and I looked around. It looked completely different. The bed now had navy blue sheets and comforter with gray pillows adorned with purple and white flowers. There were nightstands on either side. One had a small stack of books. There was a small chest at the end of the bed that looked a lot like my own in my apartment. The only difference was its color matched the other furniture in the room. In the corner were some floating bookshelves housing tons of titles. There was a long chest dresser, bigger than the one that used to be here. It matched the nightstand stained in a medium gray wood. Across the room was still a sitting area. The couch had been updated to a navy piece that had a chaise on it. Much more comfortable for a couple to cuddle together on. The accent pillows on the couch were white with purple flowers to complement the ones on the bed. The TV had been moved, so it was less convenient to watch it from the bed, but more from the couch area. Liam let me slowly slide down to my feet as I looked around, taking in the room. I walked over to the floating shelves and read some of the book titles. These looked a lot like the books on my own shelf back at the end. "Are these?" I started, turning to look at him. He nodded with a huge smile on his face. "We had some of your things picked up from your apartment. The closet has some of your stuff in it as well. The bathroom, too," he explained excitedly. "I wanted you to feel like this wasn't just my place, but our home." He came closer to me. I wrapped my arms around his waist. One of his hands cupped my face while the other rested on my waist. "What do you think?" "Liam, I love it. It is beautiful." "You didn't have to do all this," I said, my eyes tearing up a bit. "Of course, I did. You are making so many sacrifices for me. The least I can do is make this your home too." I lifted up on my tiptoes to kiss him. He kissed me back with enthusiasm. It was so adorable that he was nervous about all this. We broke away, and I gave him a big smile. "So, you let Lily ransack my apartment?" He chuckled. "Just a little. But she got some of the important stuff. She even brought all your quilts," he said, pointing to the chest at the end of the bed. That made me smile. "Although, if you're cold, I hope you just let me warm you up," he said. "I would like that very much," I said. I kissed him again, trying to pour all my appreciation into it. After a moment, he deepened the kiss. He reached down, grabbing me by my thighs and hoisted me up to him. I grabbed his face in my hands and kissed him harder. There was a knock at the door, interrupting our fun. Lily walked in about 2 seconds later, not even waiting for the okay. "Glad I got here when I did," she said. Another 30 seconds, and this would have been awkward. She had a knowing smile on her lips. "So, what do you think?" she asked excitedly. Liam let me slide down his body. I walked over to Lily and pulled her into a big hug. "Thank you," I whispered in her ear. "I love it so much." She hugged me back, squeezing the air out of me. "Okay, now. Don't strangle my mate," Liam said. We broke apart with a laugh. "So, does this mean we can announce you to the pack and start planning your Luna ceremony?" she asked hopefully. I looked between her and Liam. She had an eager look in her eyes, while Liam's expression was a little apprehensive. I smiled and nodded. "Sure," I said. "We have to do it sometime. Better sooner, I suppose." "Liam." I think my heart just stopped. I do not think I heard that correctly. "Azalea is ready for me to announce her as my mate and Luna to the pack?" I stood there stunned as Lily squealed and crushed her into a hug once more. Azalea turned to me with her large, doe eyes. I broke out of my stoic state and scooped her up, burying my nose in her neck and spinning her around. I was absolutely elated. "You really mean it? You want to be announced to the pack, baby?" I said, with a little disbelief. She nodded timidly at me, and I spun her once again. "I'll leave you to be," I heard Lily say. I was focused on the beautiful woman in my arms. I smashed my lips to hers. Her mouth opened a little, letting me slip my tongue and taste every crevice of her mouth. I did not pull away until we were both desperate for air. Her lips were swollen as she gasped for air. "When?" I asked. I don't know. What do you think?" How about tomorrow?" Her eyes got worried for a second. "Okay," she said softly. I buried my nose in her neck, inhaling her scent. "Thank you so much, baby," I said. Azalea and I had gone to my office not long after she agreed to be announced as my mate. I still had work to do as Alpha. Azalea hung out on the couch with a book while I pored over paperwork at my desk. We had lunch together in my office, but not even halfway through, Lily came in to drag Azalea away. She also took my credit card, telling me she needed the perfect dress for tomorrow. Azalea begrudgingly agreed to go with Lily. I could tell she and Lily would always be close. I decided to take our time apart to talk to Gavin. "Azalea wants to talk to you." She made a compelling argument, I said to him. "And what was that?" I knew he had been pretty checked out since she woke up. "Her wolf is gone. So, she feels that you and her need to connect as she is the only mate you have now," I explained. I thought I would feel her wolf once she was marked. I know. I am sorry, and I suspect she feels bad too. She is willing to forgive you. Are you? I paused for a moment. If she is willing to forgive you and try to move past it, then I will as well. I will do whatever is necessary to make her happy. You will let me speak to Mate alone? Can you control yourself? Yes. He was resolute in his answer. I didn't feel like I needed to worry about him, but I was still worried about how Azalea would be feeling. Okay, if she is comfortable with it, I will let you spend some time with her. She is right. When we aren't working together, we are weaker. I could feel his spirit lift. If Azalea accepted both of us, Gavin and I would be much stronger. It was getting late. Lily had texted me earlier not to wait up for them for dinner. I was sitting in our bedroom on the couch, the TV providing some background noise while I scanned over patrol reports. The door opened and Azalea came in holding a couple shopping bags. I set my file down and smiled at her. Hey, sweetheart. How was shopping? She set the bags down by the dresser and came over to me. I set my files on the table so she could climb in my lap. Long, she said. Lily made me try on about 1,000 different things. She said everything had to be more than perfect. I laughed. Yeah, that is Lily. But it comes from a good place. At least you didn't have grumbly Beta all mad that his mate was gone all day. Poor Damien. She said. He'll be okay. Told me he is locking her in tonight, so she can't busy herself with anything. I laughed again. How was your day? She asked. Long, I said, giving her a smile. She rolled her eyes. I pulled her close, burying my nose in her hair. Her soft ginger locks tickled my face. I missed you, I said, inhaling deeply. I missed you too, she said. What's wrong? I sighed. You can't even read my thoughts and you know. You are amazing. Liam, what's wrong? She asked again. I inhaled deeply again, letting her scent wrap around me, calming me. I talked to Gavin about what you asked. She was quiet for a moment. He doesn't want to talk to me, does he? No, nothing like that. He was just hesitant. And I cannot help but be nervous. I put you in danger before, and if he ever hurt you again. Her head tilted up and she looked into my eyes. Her eyes were so clear and bright. He won't. I know he won't, she said gently. She rested her head back on my chest. Whenever you two are ready. I can wait. I am ready, Gavin said. Let me out. Chapter 62. Azalea. We sat there for a few minutes. Something felt different all of a sudden. I felt a shift, like Liam had given control over to Gavin. My suspicion was confirmed when I heard, "Hello, little mate," in his deep, sorrowful voice. I sat up, looking him in the face. Liam's strong features looked sad and remorseful. Hi, I said, feeling less confident. He looked me in the eye but stayed silent. I reached my hand up and cupped his face. He continued to look into my eyes. Clemencia didn't want to leave. I was not strong enough for her. I am sorry, I said. His eyebrows shot up. That is not your fault, little mate. I am still sorry. She was your other half, and now she is gone. I waited for him to say something, but still nothing. Gavin, I do not blame you for what happened. I do not think under normal circumstances you would have done that. You work so hard to help Liam protect me, and I appreciate that about you. He nodded his head. If it is okay with you, I would like to start over. I think I could be your mate too. He cocked his head like he was confused. Little mate, you sure are special. What do you mean? I should be groveling at your feet after what occurred. You should never want to speak to me again. And here you are, apologizing to me and asking me to share you with Liam. He reached up and placed a gentle kiss on my forehead. Little mate, I could never properly apologize for my actions. Influenced or not, they were unforgivable. The simple fact that we are sitting here speaking means you are far better than anything I could ever deserve. He looked down and grabbed my wrists delicately. Bringing them up to his lips, he kissed each one right below my palm. Holding onto my hands, he ran his thumbs over my wrists where the bruises were previously. If you are willing, I will take you any way that I can have you. I will spend the rest of our lives making up for my actions and showing you that I am worthy of your forgiveness. I will never break your trust again. I nodded. Okay, I said. Then I laid my head on his chest and just let him hold me. I think we both needed it at that moment. I must have fallen asleep because I woke up in bed with Liam cuddled behind me. His scent surrounded me. I looked down to find that I was wearing a shirt with just my bra and panties underneath. I smiled, knowing he did this. I looked over at the clock on the nightstand. It read just after 5 a.m. The announcement was set for 10 a.m. Lily said she was coming by at 8 to help me get ready. Nerves began to settle in a bit as I realized I was going to be facing the whole pack today. So far, only about half the people I have interacted with seemed to be okay with me. That was not a very good rate. I tried to extricate myself from Liam's grip, but my movement only made his arms snake around my waist tighter. I turned and poked his cheek. A soft, low growl came from his naked chest. "Liam," I whispered. He did not move. "Liam," I whispered again. Still, he didn't move. I got an idea. Twisting just enough so I could whisper in his ear, I said, "My alpha." Again, a growl came from his chest, this one a little more pleasurable and less annoyed. His eyes cracked open and smirk graced his lips. "Good morning, my little Luna," he said, running his nose along my cheek. "I think I like it when you call me that," he said. I giggled. "I like when you let me out of this bed to pee," I said. "Fine," he said with a pout. He removed his arms from my waist, but before I could move, he was over top of me, peppering kisses on my face. I continued to giggle at his attack. "Say it again," he said in between kisses with a devilish glint in his eyes. "Liam, please," I gasped. "Say it again, little Luna," he said, still assaulting me with pecks. I continued to laugh. "Come on, little Luna. Say it for me." "Fine, fine," I gasped. He paused for a moment, and I tried to catch my breath. He looked at me with hungry eyes. My cheeks flamed red. "I am waiting," he said with a smirk on his lips. He was enjoying teasing me. "My alpha," I whispered. His eyes darkened. I could feel his sea hardening through his shorts. Yeah, I think I like the sound of that from your pretty little lips," he said with a wink. Seemingly now satisfied, he rolled off of me with a chuckle. I quickly scrambled off the bed to the floor. I could feel his eyes on me as I quickly made my way to the bathroom. Closing the door behind me, I sighed. I went to the bathroom before heading to the sink to wash my face. Lily had also managed to redo the bathroom during our evening in the city. Now there was a double vanity with drawers for both of our things. There were more towels as well to accommodate 2 people in the bathroom. The shower had been remodeled as well, and it now featured a beautiful tub big enough for both of us inside the walk-in shower. "Baby, I can feel your nerves," came Liam's voice from the doorway. He was leaning against the door frame with a concerned look on his. I gave him a tight smile. "I'm okay," I said. "Are you worried about today?" he asked. Now that I was marked, our bond was even stronger, and he could feel all my emotions. "Maybe a little," I said, looking away from him. He walked towards me slowly. "I think more than a little," he said. His hands lightly grabbed my chin and tilted it to face him. "If you aren't ready." "No," I said quickly. I knew I would be letting him and Lily down. I was just worried about the pack members accepting me, especially seeing as the former alpha and Luna certainly do not. "I am just worried about what people will think of me being your mate. We know how your parents feel." I trailed off. "I don't care how anyone feels. You are my mate, and trying to defy the moon goddess got me nowhere. I would give up being alpha before I gave up you," he said, caressing my cheek. I relaxed slightly under his touch. He knew exactly how to calm me down. "Come back to bed with me. We still have a couple hours until Lily kicks me out anyway," he said. I nodded, giving him a smile. He bent down, giving me a soft kiss. We laid in bed cuddling until Lily was banging on the door. Liam had fallen asleep quickly as I cuddled into his arms, letting his body wrap around mine. I laid there trying not to worry about this afternoon. Liam groaned at Lily's banging. "Is it time already? Let's go. Get your alpha butt out." "Come on, Liam," she shouted from the hallway. I giggled. "You're enjoying this, aren't you?" he said, looking down at me. I looked up at him with a small smile and shrugged. He bent his head and whispered, "Except you are about to be stuck with her for the next 2 hours. You thought trying on dresses was bad." My eyebrows shot up in surprise. I had not thought about that. He laughed as he rolled out of bed, leaving me feeling cold without his warmth surrounding me. He walked over to the closet and re-emerged with a shirt in his hand. He tossed me a pair of my own pajama shorts with a wink. I slid off the bed, pulling them on. Liam grabbed his phone and walked over to give me a quick kiss on the cheek. He walked to the door, throwing it open. Lily looked at him with her arms crossed. Finally, she said, looking him up and down. "All that time and you couldn't even put a shirt on?" He gave her a lopsided smile and scooted past her. She rushed in the room, excitement erasing her irritation. "Ready to do this?" she asked excitedly. Lily really had some serious magic. In the past couple years, I had learned how to style my hair and found a style for myself once I finally had money and the ability to shop for myself. But Lily was in a league of her own. Yesterday, we had finally found the perfect dress. It was more of a vintage-style dress with a fitted bust and swing skirt that fell to my knees. It was deep blue with a baby blue sash around the waist. It had a sweetheart neckline and sleeves that barely came over my shoulders. The fabric of the dress had small sequins woven throughout, so it sparkled underneath bright light. The dark fabric brought out the freckles against my pale skin. She had done very little with my makeup, but I felt better that way. My hair was curled to accentuate its natural wave. The front part was swept back into some Dutch braids that came together at the back of my head. She had also clipped a gorgeous brooch with gems that matched the dress at the conjunction. We had also found a pair of baby blue saddle shoes that went well with the dress and prevented me from having to wear heels. I had confessed that I was nervous about falling over my own feet during the announcement. Liam came in while I was slipping my shoes on, Lily having left to go get herself ready as well. Her and Damien would accompany us in front of the pack. I was happy to have them with us, as I could count on their support. I stood up as his eyes came up from his cell phone and landed on me. They widened in surprise. "Is it okay?" I asked. "Wow," he said. "Baby, you look amazing." His eyes swept up and down me. I could feel my cheeks warm up under his gaze. "Thank you," I said quietly. He groaned. "If this wasn't so important, I wouldn't let you leave this room." He turned on his heel and went into the closet. I checked myself over in the mirror. When Liam emerged, he was handsomely dressed in a baby blue dress shirt to match the sash on my dress. He looked absolutely dapper with his dark locks tousled on top of his head, still untamed from bed last night. "I have something for you," he said, coming up behind me in the mirror. I gave him a questioning look. "Close your eyes," he whispered. His words sent a shiver down my spine. I closed my eyes and waited for his instruction. I felt something cold and small against my chest. I opened my eyes as Liam clasped a necklace around me. My mouth dropped open in surprise. I was going to wait, but I am just so happy you agreed to be introduced to the pack and be my Luna. "I wanted to give you something to help remind you that you will always be my world," he said sweetly. I looked at the pendant of the necklace. It was a white gold wolf howling at what appeared to be a blue topaz moon. It was gorgeous. I could feel tears welling up in my eyes. "Liam, it's so beautiful," I whispered. "Thank you." I turned around to him. Reaching up on my tiptoes, I wrapped my arms around his neck and kissed his perfect lips. Wrapping his arms around my waist, he kissed me back. Before it went too far, he broke our kiss. "We need to go. I am sure there is a beta downstairs with a neurotic mate waiting for us," he laughed. I nodded and removed my arms from him. He smiled at me, holding out his hand for me to grab. I gladly grabbed on, wanting every bit of comfort I could get. But it was not helping as every step we took towards the outdoor reception set up outside the back of the pack house, I got even more nervous. "Liam." I held her hand as we descended the steps to the bottom floor of the pack house. We would be meeting Lily and Damien by the back doors. Damien, Lily, and I would go out on stage first, then Austin would bring Azalea out as she was introduced to keep any murmurs from starting before I could say anything. I could feel her nerves through our link, and if I were being honest, I was a little nervous as well. I hoped this would go well, but my parents not being present for the announcement would send a message. There was a real possibility many pack members would hold a grudge against her. Damien and Lily were waiting for us with Austin by the back door when we got there. "Good morning, Luna," Austin said, flashing her a big smile. After talking with both Austin and Jacob about their escorting Azalea to the clinic the other day, Damien and I agreed that it would be best to leave Azalea's protection to Austin until we could find a permanent guard. "Good morning, Austin. And please, will you call me Azalea?" she said nicely to him. "No can do, Luna." "So, are you ready to go?" he said. She nodded shyly. "I got it from here, Alpha," he said to me. I nodded tightly to him. I turned to Azalea. I cupped my hand on her soft face. "You ready?" I asked her quietly. She nodded to me. "We'll only be apart for a few minutes and Austin will be with you the whole time, okay?" "I'm okay, Liam. Everything will work out," she said. I gave her a quick kiss before letting her go with Austin. "Let's get this over with," Damien said in a flat voice. I knew he did not mean much by it. He just hated dealing with formalities like this. I could not say they were my favorite either. Damien, Lily, and I walked out to the backyard and made our way up the small platform we used as a stage. Most of the pack was in attendance. The murmuring of the crowd died down as we took the stage. Damien and Lily stood to the side of me holding hands while I got the pack's attention. "Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining me today. I have a very exciting announcement," I started. "As you all know, almost 3 years ago now, my father passed down the Alpha title to me even though I had not found my mate. As many of you know, I have been diligently searching for her since my 17th birthday. I am happy to announce to you all today that I have found my mate and our future Luna." There was a round of applause and cheers. I let it die down before I continued. "Now, she is very shy, so I would like everyone to give her a warm welcome." I looked to Damien, who nodded, telling me he already linked Austin. Austin and Azalea emerged from the back door. I could see from where I stood that she was a little pale. He led her with a hand on her back towards the stage. I would have to talk to him about touching my mate. She was quickly by my side, and Austin went to stand with Damien and Lily. I grabbed her hand. "Everyone, please welcome your future Luna, Azalea Simmons," I announced. She looked up with a shy smile at everyone. There were some cheers from the younger members of the pack that would not know anything about her. There were confused whispers from some that clearly had heard rumors, but did not know anything firsthand. Then there were some downright enraged looks from some of the older members of the pack. I can only assume they were involved in stopping the overthrow of my father and knew who she was. "Don't you mean my future Luna?" came a loud voice from the back of the crowd. "No," came Azalea's voice in my head. Chapter 63. Azalea. No, 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 I thought. I knew that voice. Cole could not be here. There was just no way. Liam's face flashed with a surprised expression before snapping out of it and stepping in front of me. Austin was immediately by my side. Damien had moved in front of Lily as well. "What is going on, Alpha?" Austin shot at Liam. "I don't know. Don't leave her side," he commanded. I grabbed onto Liam's arm, not wanting him to leave me alone. "Liam, it's Cole," I whispered. The voice was coming closer, and there were murmurs through the crowd, although my view of everything was blocked by Liam's giant form. "Thank you so much for coming out here today. I do say that an audience makes this all the better," Cole boomed. Liam growled. Now, big bad Alpha. We had a challenge, did we not? And I did warn you that I would come for MY mate if you did not choose the time of the challenge," he continued, his voice continuing to grow louder. "You are trespassing. Leave here now and you will remain unharmed," Liam said, ignoring his taunts. He was walking a fine line, not setting the time of the challenge. TSK Alpha. No one needs to get hurt here. Just hand over the girl and I will be on my way. Then I will dispose of you when you are ready, Cole said. He sounded even closer now. Liam growled. "You will not be touching my mate," he said in a dangerous tone. "I am sorry, but I am a man of my word. I told you to pick the time or I would come for her. Although I am running a bit late due to some other complications. Get off of my territory before I punish you for threatening my Luna," Liam threatened. "Sounds to me like your pack isn't sold on that little bit yet," Cole shot back. Liam's posture got more rigid. "Austin, take her out of here, now." "No, Liam. Don't please," I begged behind him. "Azalea, I don't want you here for this," he said to me. "Please," I pleaded in my head. I just could not form the words. Austin was pulling on my arm, but I wouldn't let go of Liam. "I am waiting, Alpha. Hand her over or fight me right here, right now," Cole taunted. You have threatened not only the future Luna of Blood Eclipse, but also the Alpha of White Moon. We will not hand her over to you, and you will not have the right to challenge for the title of Alpha. This is your last chance. Leave here now or I will take action against you, Liam said in a calm but angry voice. I guess you haven't heard. That complication I mentioned was White Moon. They no longer have an Alpha, Cole said with something sinister in his voice. I gasped. Alpha Isaac just couldn't keep up. The rumors were not true about his special ability either. So, I just put him down. I shot my eyes to Damien. I could see his expression slightly glazed, Lily's too. They were linking people. I could see warriors emerging from the sides of the pack house and other pack members running away. They must be getting as many people out that will leave. Austin's arms came around me, pulling me back from Liam but not off the stage. Fine, I will honor your challenge. But there will be no mercy. I will end your life, Liam said with determination. No, I whispered. I'm sorry, Luna. There is no other choice, Austin said quietly to me. He began pulling me towards the side of the platform, taking me back to the pack house. She will not be leaving here, Alpha. She will watch every moment, Cole said. That is not up to you, Liam said. I could see Cole now. He was shirtless in only some athletic shorts. He had obviously come through the border in his wolf form. He looked dirty, but still strong. Liam's muscles were straining hard against his shirt. I could tell Gavin was trying to get out. But you forget. Your title is not the only prize, your maid is as well. So, she must stay for the fight. It is our law, is it not? Cole said. He had an evil smile on his face. He may look a lot like Liam, but he was not Liam in any way. Austin stopped pulling me and looked to Liam and Damien. Damien had a hard look on his face, and Liam had his teeth bared. I closed my eyes and swallowed the lump in my throat. I'll stay, I yelled, causing everyone's attention to turn to me. Austin's grip on me loosened, and I stepped away from him, back towards Liam. I'll stay. No one needs to get hurt, I said now that all eyes are on me. Liam's eyes were dark. He turned back to Cole. 10 minutes. At my training grounds. My warriors will escort you, he said. A wicked smile flashed across Cole's face. There was something dark behind his eyes, and it turned my stomach. Good choice, he said, turning to walk away. Liam nodded to warriors now standing around the gathering area. 6 of them came forward surrounding Cole and leading him to the training grounds. Liam watched him turn and strut away before turning back to me. His eyes were dark as night. His eyes stayed glued to me as he addressed Austin and Damien. You two need to keep her safe. If this does not go my way, get her out of here. Far away. He will kill her if he tries to mark her, he said in a dark voice. I could tell he just barely had control. Liam, I said quietly. He closed the distance between us in a few strides and took my face in his hands. He doesn't know you are marked yet. I wanted you out of here because I don't know what he will do when he finds out, he said. He pulled some of my hair over my shoulder, hiding my mark from view. Austin and Damien will keep you far enough away that he cannot smell it. I have no intention of letting him take what is mine. Azalea, if I fail, I need you to run. Run far away. Okay. Forgive me for failing you and get away from him. I could hear the desperation in his voice. My eyes searched his looking for anything to tell me he was okay. His lips came down on mine in a desperate kiss. I whimpered a little behind his kiss. Our lips broke apart. Liam, please don't, I begged. I have to, baby. I have to end this now or you will never be safe, he said. But I can't lose you, I thought, tears brimming my eyes. You won't, he whispered. My eyes widened. How did he know? Liam. I unbuttoned my shirt and wrapped it around her shoulders. My scent around her would help obscure her marking. I also knew she had to be a little chilly out here and the training grounds would be far more windy. If he is declared the winner, you waste no time. Carry her out of here if you have to, I linked Damien and Austin. They both nodded their heads. I grabbed Azalea's hand and we began walking towards the training fields. I could feel her fear blooming in my chest. Damien, Austin, and Lily followed as we walked across the pack house grounds. Gavin was ready to take charge and end Cole. I was keeping him at bay for now. Cole was standing in the center of the sparring circle, arms crossed with a cocky look on his face. I stopped at the side of the ring and slipped my shoes off. I looked down at Azalea, who was clutching my shirt around her. "You don't have to watch. Close your eyes and stay with Austin," I told her, rubbing my thumb along her jaw. I kissed her lips gently, trying to reassure her. Cole clears his throat. I look into her beautiful green eyes one more time before turning to face him. Austin is immediately next to her. Lily stands on the sideline while Damien follows me to the center. "You sure you're ready for this?" he links. "Yeah, I am," I say confidently. Since Azalea woke up from her marking, I have felt this power inside me blossoming. I guess Gavin was right all along. We are stronger now that we mated and marked her. We met Cole in the center of the ring. We stood opposite each other. Damien stood in between us. We are here for the official challenge to the title of Alpha of Blood Eclipse pack between reigning Alpha of Blood Eclipse, Liam Blackfur, and challenger Cole Blackfur. This challenge will be to the death. Losing party cannot beg for mercy. The winner will have the right to the title of Alpha of Blood Eclipse pack. This challenge will be officially witnessed by myself, Beta of Blood Eclipse, my mate, and the Delta of Blood Eclipse, Damien boomed. "And don't forget the other lovely prize, the future Luna of Blood Eclipse," Cole interrupted. "She will not be an official witness," Damien said in a flat tone. "Now, is the challenger ready?" Damien looked at Cole. He nodded his head with a stupid smirk on his face. "And defender?" I nodded, my features stoic. "The challenge will officially begin once I step out of the ring." "Take your positions now," Damien finished. We both took our positions. I let Gavin come to the surface. Although it was not a technique we practiced often, Gavin and I were able to share control when we both needed to be present. We had done this a few times when fighting rogues, but the stakes had never been like this. Damien walked back over to where Lily, Azalea, and Austin stood. "And begin," Damien shouted, stepping out of the sparring ring. Cole immediately launched himself at me. I easily dodged him. He continued to launch himself at me, and I easily dodged. This was too easy. "Quit playing," I said. He launched himself at me once more. This time I ducked, but spun to kick his legs out from under him. He surprised me by easily rolling out of it. This time I did not wait for him to come at me. I launched myself at him, fist clenched. As I thought, he was not caught off guard and tried to duck away, allowing me to grab onto him and throw him to the ground. He hit the ground with a thud. My eyes momentarily darted to the sideline where Azalea stood. Austin stood protectively next to her while she watched us with her arms wrapped around herself. "Pay attention to the fight," Gavin roared at me. I snapped back to Cole, who was trying to get to his feet. I launched myself at him, claws coming out of my fingers. His legs came up, catching me in the stomach before I could land a strike. I fell back, trying to suck in air. "Let's just shift and bite his head off," Gavin complained. "No, we are not shifting first." "Fine, we'll do this the hard way." Cole was now on his feet, and I could see hair sprouting along his arms. His bulky form came at me once again. This time I did not dodge him but met him head-on, and we exchanged blows. His strikes were hard but slow, allowing me to evade many of them. It seems his time as a rogue has not afforded him much hand-to-hand combat practice. I continually landed blows to his face and body, but it seemed to be having no effect other than making him angrier. We broke apart for a split second, and I brought my leg up to kick him. He caught it easily, surprising me. Using my leg, he threw me down and jumped over me. His eyes were dark as he tried to rain down blows on my face. He caught me once, rocking my head into the hard ground. This only infuriated Gavin more, causing a growl to escape my lips. My fist connected with his jaw, dizzying him for a moment. I used this opportunity to take control and roll us over. I rained down blows with my claws, trying to draw blood. I could feel him shaking beneath me as if he were restraining himself from shifting. I could not let him shift while I was on top of him. Out of nowhere, I felt a sharp stab in my side. Looking over, Cole held a small knife in my side. An overwhelming burning sensation radiated from the wound as he ripped the knife out. The wound was not large or too deep to be fatal, but the blade has to be laced with wolfsbane, which would stop the healing and make it difficult to shift. My eyes grew wide. A cold laugh came from Cole's lips as I fell off him, clutching my side. He stood up, breathing heavily. I shakily tried to get to my feet. "How dare you?" I shouted. "Stop. This challenge has now been invalidated," Damien shouted from the side. He had stepped just inside the ring. "You think I was going to leave a chance of you winning?" Cole said. "Azalea." There was a burning pain in my side. I gasped. Austin immediately grabbed onto me, keeping me from collapsing. "What's wrong, Luna?" Austin asked worriedly. Lily also pulled her attention away from the fight. Liam was on the ground now, clutching his side. Stabbing pain. "It burns," I groaned, holding my side. "Damien, Wolfsbane," Austin shouted. Damien stepped into the ring to stop the fight immediately. "Wait, don't get close. We don't know what Cole will do." "Stop. This challenge has now been invalidated," Damien shouted. I could feel Liam's pain and Gavin's rage. The pain made my legs weak. Austin held me up, so I didn't collapse on the ground. "Are you okay, Luna?" Austin asked. I nodded. I looked up to see Liam trying to get to his feet. "Let him be okay," I silently prayed. "Just let my mate be okay." Cole and Liam looked like they were having a conversation, but we could not hear them. Out of nowhere, Cole began to shift. "Liam," I shouted. If it were Wolfsbane, Liam wouldn't be able to shift into his wolf until it was out of his system. The pain in my side seemed to lessen, and I felt this warmth drain from as if it was pouring from a spout at my feet. Everything started to spin. Chapter 64. Liam. I was struggling to stand, the pain in my side excruciating. "You never had a chance of leaving here alive, Liam. I would never let you take my mate and rightful place away from me," Cole said. His eyes held something possessive and unhinged. "I will never let you have her or my pack," I said. I looked down at my hand. There was purple ooze seeping from the wound. "You won't have a choice now. You can't shift, and I bet you won't be much of a challenge anymore," he said. The pain was beginning to subside. I dropped my hand from the wound. Somehow, I was healing. I could feel it. This amount of Wolfsbane was never meant to be fatal, just to stop the healing and prevent me from shifting. "Get ready, Gavin. We need to shift at the right moment and catch him off guard." "Keep him talking," he said. "Don't be so sure. I've had worse than a little cut." "You'll regret underestimating me," I said with a cocky smirk. "I think you're overestimating here. You could not even mark your mate. You had to force her to even mate with you," he spat. "Oh yeah? You did not notice?" "Odd. Everyone else could smell it right away," I said. I knew this would set him off. I wanted him angry and erratic. Angry wolves did not fight smart. And just like I thought, he began to shift. The pain in my side was completely gone now, and I could feel the wound closing itself. "Liam," I heard Azalea's voice. I wished she would not watch. "Almost," said Gavin. I could feel a warm sensation flooding through me, like I had the power of two people all of a sudden. Cole shifted. His wolf had gray fur. He was large, but not as large as I am. He lunged at me, and I easily dodged him, letting him skid past me. I looked to the sideline for a split second, noticing Azalea in Austin's arms with Lily next to them. Damien stood in a defensive position 10 yards in front of them. I snapped my attention back to Cole, and he once again lunged for me. I jumped out of the way. "No," Gavin said, pushing himself forward. All at once, he took full control and we shifted. Landing on all fours, Gavin snarled at Cole. Surprise struck his features, and we used this to lunge at his throat. Grabbing a hold of his throat, he thrashed under my jaws, trying to get away. I could feel my teeth pierce the skin of his neck, drawing blood. His paw came up, swiping at my side. I felt blood trickle down my side as I let go of him. We circled each other, calculating our next move. Cole attacked first, breaking the circle and running at me at full speed. I leapt before he could get to me, snapping my jaw over the back of his neck as I landed on top of him. We rolled on the ground fighting for dominance, but not once did I let go of his neck. The strength I felt right now was far more than I had ever before. "It's mate," Gavin thought as we fought Cole into submission. Finally, with a loud crack, we snapped Cole's neck, dropping his lifeless body to the ground. I stepped away from him, walking towards the side of the ring. Austin was holding Azalea still, and she was not moving in his arms. Gavin quickly gave me back control as we shifted back, and I sprinted to her. When I got to the side, Damien ran past me to check Cole's body. "What happened?" I asked, panicked. "We don't know. She felt it when you got stabbed, and then she just sort of passed out," Lily said. Lily handed me shorts that I pulled on quickly as she spoke. I grabbed Azalea's face in my hands. Baby, wake up." "It's over," I said softly. I was trying to keep all the worry out of my voice. I could feel tears threatening to spill over my lashes. I could not lose her again. Gavin whined in my head. Austin shifted her from his arms into mine. I pulled her close to me. "Austin, go get Dr. Black Fur," Lily said to him. He took off immediately, running for the pack house. Damien approached us. "Baby, wake up. It's all over." "Please, Azalea," I whispered in her ear as I cradled her close. She stirred a little in my arms. "Baby, open your eyes, please," I said, laying a feather-soft kiss on her lips. "Liam," she said almost inaudibly. "I am right here. Baby, open your eyes." "Everything is okay. It's all over. You're safe," I begged. I needed to see those perfect green eyes. Her eyes fluttered open, and I felt a wave of relief flood through me. The smallest amount of color was coming back into her cheeks. The smallest smile graced her lips as she looked into my eyes. "Liam," she whispered again. "Azalea," I breathed. I buried my face in her neck, breathing in her scent. My nerves calmed as her hand came up and wove its way into my hair. We stayed like that for a few minutes before I finally broke away. "Baby, are you okay?" "What happened?" I asked, brushing her hair back from her face. "I'm okay, I think," she said softly. "What happened?" "I don't know. I felt it when Cole stabbed you. Someone said wolfsbane and I was so scared. I just kept praying that you were okay. Then the pain started to slowly stop. I thought you were okay at first. Then I felt really odd. Everything got dizzy and I must have passed out," she said slowly. "We should let your uncle look at her, Liam," Lily said, placing her hand on my shoulder. I nodded, not taking my eyes off Azalea. "Have him meet us in our room," I said. I took off to the pack house, walking quickly with Azalea in my arms. Damien and Lily were close behind me. "Cole is being dealt with," Damien muttered to me. "What does he mean being dealt with?" Azalea asked. "It's over, baby. He can't hurt you anymore," I told her softly. Her hand came up and stroked my cheek. "Oh, Liam," she said softly. In no time at all, we were back in the pack house. My uncle was waiting for us outside our room. I took Azalea in and sat her on the bed gently. I went to move away and she grabbed my hand. "Don't leave," she said softly. "Never," I said. I looked at my uncle, who just rolled his eyes but did not make me move. My uncle had no explanation for what happened. He hoped that she was simply overwhelmed by the challenge. He advised us to have her rest for the night. I left her with Lily to change out of her dress and into something comfortable while I showered as fast as possible. When I emerged from the bathroom, she was sitting on the bed in my shirt and some leggings. Her curls were loosely piled on her head and her face was lost in thought. No matter how many times I saw her, she would always take my breath away. "What are you thinking about, baby?" I asked her, coming over to get on the bed next to her. "My wolf," she said softly. "What about her?" "Well, she said she gave me a second gift, right? That is what you said." "Well, she never told me what it was. She just said it would help me as a Luna. What if it had something to do with how you healed today?" I looked at her, thinking about what she just said. Could her gift have to do with healing people? "I don't know, baby. I have only ever heard rumors about White Moon. I never knew any wolf from the pack until you." "Yeah," she sighed. I pulled her to me, wrapping her in my arms. She settled into my embrace. "We need to find out for Mate," Gavin said in my head. "But how? If we believe what Cole said, he killed Isaac. Who else could tell us anything? What about a White Moon Elder? Surely Cole was not able to kill the whole pack. Gavin was actually onto something. What if we could find out?" I asked her. "What do you mean?" she said, pulling away from me. "Well, what if we win a White Moon? Maybe we could find an elder who could have some information. Maybe someone there can help us understand it all," I suggested. Her eyes grew very wide. I cupped her face in my hands, searching her face for any indication of what she was thinking. "Baby, if you don't want to," I trailed off. "Can we really do that?" she finally said. Baby, I would do anything for you. If you want to go to White Moon for answers, we will go to White Moon, I said earnestly. Her lips curled up in a loving smile. I pulled her face to mine, planting a kiss on her perfect pink lips. I will talk with Damien and Austin. We'll arrange everything. Azalea. The next few days were tense. Liam had to deal with the aftermath of Cole showing up during our maid announcement. Luckily, that was the primary concern on the pack's mind. But it was bringing up many questions about what had happened before. Liam had sent wolves to check Cole's pack house for activity, and so far, they had nothing to report. He had also sent wolves to White Moon with a message about our intended visit. He was unsure if Cole's claims about White Moon were true or to what extent. There had not been any news since they left, sadly. Liam continued to assure me that we would go no matter what, but he wanted to use as much diplomacy as he could beforehand, considering how things were left with Alpha Isaac. I had this feeling that he was anxious to take me there. I know it was on his mind that more than Alpha Isaac could be on the Azalea's the next leader train. Austin was acting as my personal guard for the time being. Lily had let it slip that Liam and Damien were trying to find a more permanent wolf to take the position. I did not throw up a fuss to Liam about it, though. I knew he was scared. I could feel his anxiety every morning when he woke before me. He would not move until I was awake. I hoped over time that his anxiety would fade. Austin was always nice and fun to be around. We did not have much in common, but got along easily still. We even had lunch with his mate one afternoon. She was the sweetest thing. She was from another pack, so it was her first time meeting me. It was refreshing to interact with a pack member that did not bear any kind of animosity towards me. I hoped more than anything that the next guard would be as nice as Austin. I did my best to stay hidden as well. Austin kept trying to suggest we go out, but I thought it was best to lie low for the moment. The reception at our mate announcement had not exactly been warm, and I didn't want to create more problems for Liam right now. I had taken to spending time with Missy as well. She was a wonderful girl, and we shared a love of backing. We were in the kitchen icing cupcakes when Liam found us. Austin had already taste tested about 6 and was sitting in the corner nursing his upset stomach. "Well, look at this," said Liam, walking in on us. "What might my little Luna and best helper be doing in here?" Missy giggled. "Making cupcakes." Luna Azalea showed me how to put filling inside. She cheered enthusiastically. I smiled at her. She had been talking my ear off for the last 2 hours or so as we worked. "Did she now?" he said, coming over to me. I smiled at him, and he pecked my lips. "Missy, are you almost finished with your Luna?" "I was hoping I could pull her away before dinner," he said to her. "Yep, we are all finished up. I can put these away for dinner tonight. Everyone will be so excited," she said, bouncing up and down. She looked at me saying, "Thank you for baking with me, Luna." I gave her a bright smile. "No, thank you for the company, Missy." "I had a wonderful time," I said. Bending down to her level, I continued, "Next time, I will show you how to make some apple crumble." Miss Abigail told me it's Delta, Austin's favorite. Her eyes lit up and she squealed a little. I think she had a little crush on Austin, to be honest, but he was gentle with her. I could tell he would make a wonderful, caring father in the next couple months. Liam pulled me out the doors of the kitchen and towards the front door. Our fingers were intertwined, and my other hand was wrapped around his arm as we walked. Now that my life was not under constant threat for the last few days, both Liam and I had felt our bond flourishing. Liam had refrained from any more promiscuous adventures since our night in the hotel in the city, but I could feel his growing desire every night. "So, my alpha, what did you come to get me for?" I said with a smile, looking up at him. I knew he liked hearing those words out of my mouth. He gave me a mischievous smirk. "Well, little Luna, you are making me rethink my plan," he said in a husky tone. I giggled at him. "Tonight, I thought it was time that you and I got some fresh air. I was hoping that you would do me the pleasure of accompanying me on a date tonight," he said, stopping us at the front door. "A date?" I said excitedly. He nodded his head as he looked down at me. "Of course," I said enthusiastically. His face lit up with an ecstatic grin. He produced a coat from who knows where and helped me put it on. "Where are we going?" Liam led me out to the car and opened the door for me as he always does. "That, my little Luna, is my secret," he said as he lifted me up and placed me on the seat. We didn't drive far before Liam was pulling over in the woods. I gave him a questioning look. He smiled. "Just wait, baby," he said, hopping out of the car. He came around to my door and opened it as well. I grabbed his hand and climbed down from the car. He opened the door to the back seat and pulled out a bag. He handed it to me and began undressing. "Liam, what is going on?" I asked. Handing me his shirt, he said, "Put this in the bag, please," with a smile. I grabbed his shirt and placed it in the bags while he removed his shoes and pants. I drooled for a moment over his mostly naked form. Ever since he marked me, he seemed to be bulking up. His arms were larger, his abs more defined, shoulders a bit wider. I could not say it went unnoticed. I put his other clothes in the bag and asked again, "Liam, why are you getting naked? What is going on?" He closed the distance between us, placing his hands on my hips. I looked up into his blue eyes that seemed to sparkle. He was excited by whatever his plan was. I realized that my beautiful mate never got to shift into her wolf. She never got to experience what it was like to run through the forest. "So, my little Luna, I am going to take you for a ride," he said with an excited smile. Before I could even process what he said, he pecked me on the lips and dropped his boxers in my hand. He stepped back and shifted easily into his wolf. I cannot remember ever actually seeing his wolf before. It was absolutely breathtaking. Because Liam is an alpha, he stood much taller than most wolves. He towered over me easily in both human and wolf form. His fur was blacker than the night sky, and he had white tipping his ears and nose and one of his paws. His fur looked soft and shined in the late afternoon sun. He stepped forward, bowing his head to me. I reached my arm out, running my fingers through his thick fur. He growled in appreciation. He tipped his head back up and locked his eyes with mine. "Climb on, baby," I heard Liam's voice in my head. I gasped and jumped in surprise. "Liam, did you just—" I trailed off. He nodded his wolf head. "I have suspected for a while now. There were a few times I could hear you in my head when I knew you weren't talking." His voice flooded through me. Tears were threatening to escape my eyes. "Don't cry, sweetheart. I thought you would be happy," he said. He nuzzled my face with his. I am so happy," I said, dashing the tears from my eyes. I could link my mate. Liam laid down on the ground. "Go ahead, baby." "Climb on," he said, his warm voice filling my head. I secured the bag to me and climbed onto Liam's back. "Hold on to my coat tight, okay? I am faster than most wolves," he advised. I wrapped my arms around his thick neck and clutched his fur tight in my hands. I cuddled into his back. "Ready?" he asked. I nodded my head and he took off. At first, I was scared. It was a weird feeling as the wind whipped past us. Liam bounded through the forest seamlessly. I could feel his joy and relief as his paws pounded the forest floor. Once I got used to the feeling of his movement, I sat up slightly. My hair whipped behind me as I tried to watch the trees pass us by. It was beautiful. Soon, the feeling of the air against my face felt wonderful and I smiled. I giggled as Liam began weaving in and out of the trees, clearly feeling a little more playful. "That sound is beautiful," he said in my head. I could feel my cheeks blush even against the cool air. Would he always have this effect on me? We ran through the forest for what seemed like ages. Liam never seemed to tire, even carrying me on his back. The entire time I felt his and Gavin's excitement and amusement as we wove our way in and out of the trees. Finally, we came to a clearing within the forest. It felt familiar with the small pond fed by a waterfall on the far side. Being almost winter, there were no blooming flowers and the trees had lost most of their leaves. But it was still beautiful. Liam stopped right in the center of the clearing, sitting down on the ground. I easily slid off his back. He stood up and began to shift back. I removed the bag from my back while looking away from his now naked body. "Don't be so shy, kitten," he said in a husky voice. "I am your alpha after all." I could almost hear the smirk on his face as he grabbed the bag from me. My cheeks were on fire and not just from the wind burn. I was desperately trying to look at anything but him. In no time at all, he had pulled his clothes back on. He closed the distance between us, wrapping his arms around me. I looked up at his handsome face and smiled, enjoying his warm arms around me. "How was that?" he asked. "Amazing." Thank you, I said. Anytime, baby, he said, leaning down and giving me a sweet kiss. I am glad you had fun. I have never experienced anything like that, I said, a little in awe. He rubbed his nose along mine. I want you to experience everything wonderful in life, sweetheart, he said softly. Are you cold, little Luna? He asked, pulling me closer. Not in your arms, I said softly, burying my face in his neck. I inhaled deeply, letting his scent surround my senses. He had been tense for the last few days as we dealt with the aftermath of everything. Being here now with him so happy and relaxed was refreshing and made me relax as well. Where are we? I asked finally. You don't recognize it? He said with a grin. I looked around again. We have been here before. That night after your uncle came to see me the first time. You brought me here after you got all jealous of. I trailed off. I had forgotten about John. Yeah, he said, swallowing. I think he forgot about John being dead as well. I thought it might be nice to have dinner alone out here tonight, he said, running his fingers along my cheeks. That sounds perfect, I said. We were on our way back to the pack house in the car now. Liam and I had a wonderful time in the clearing, eating, talking, and laughing until it was well past sunset. He held my hand in his lap as we drove the short distance back to the pack house. It had been the perfect night, and I wanted nothing more than to go back to our room and climb into bed with him. As our bond grew, I could feel Liam a little more clearly. I knew he could already feel me, and it seemed like he was starting to get better at figuring out what was going on in my head. Mates can not only feel each other, but also know the thoughts of their other half. Obviously, we did not know what our bond would be like with me not having a wolf any longer. Finding out that Liam and I could link with each other made me feel elated. I had been worried that I was too broken to be a good Luna for the pack. But being able to link my mate gave me hope. We pulled up to the pack house as Liam's phone rang. He had left it in the car when we parked and had not checked it when we got back. He answered it. Yeah, he said. I was busy. They claim to be from where? Yeah, we'll be there in just a minute. Do not tell them. Good. I listened to Liam's side of the conversation as he shot me a worried glance. He hung up the phone inside. What is wrong? I asked, sad that our perfect night was clearly over. Apparently, someone from White Moon is here and they are looking for you. Chapter 65. Liam. Her eyes grew wide on her face. I brought my hand up to cup her face. Hey, it's okay. You know I won't let anyone take you. Maybe they are here with answers for you, I said, trying to ease her anxiety. Damien had said they were not being forthcoming about their purpose here. We could not be sure that they had come because of the message we sent or not, as they were refusing to speak to anyone until Azalea was present. She leaned her face into my touch, and I could feel her anxiety ease slightly. I could feel her more and more every day. I just could not read her thoughts. I did not need the mate bond to know she was scared, though. She took a deep breath. Let's go, she said. I got out of the car and she waited for me to come around and open her door. She never fought me on these things, and I liked that. I helped her down and held her hand as we walked into the pack house. She squeezed my hand harder and harder as we approached Damien's office. We stopped outside the door. They don't know who you are, and we can keep it secret as long as you would like. We don't need to tell them right away. We can see if they will talk to us as Alpha and Luna before we reveal who you are, I linked her. She nodded her head. I could feel the unease she felt. I gave her a soft kiss before opening the door and striding inside. Azalea followed on my heel, still holding my hand. There was an old woman sitting in the chair across from Damien. He stood as I entered. I came around his desk. Madam Airless, this is my Alpha, Liam Blackfur, and his mate, Damien said, introducing me. I looked at her as I came around the desk to stand next to Damien. Azalea stood just behind me. The woman was very old, wrinkles covering every inch of her skin. She was also pale, indicative of someone coming from a pack in a colder region. She wore many layers of dark clothing, and her green eyes popped against her pale skin and gray hair. Her eyes looked exactly like Azalea's. Her eyes scanned me before her attention moved to Azalea. Her wispy eyebrows shot up in surprise. Azalea, she whispered. I stilled. Excuse me, but before I allow you to speak to a member of my pack, you will need to tell me what you are here about, I said. Seeing as you are trying to hide the fact that the person I am looking for is your mate, I think we can drop the charade. Alpha, she said calmly. And how are you so sure of this? Because despite her father's features, she has my eyes and hair, she said with a reminiscent smile. Azalea stepped out from behind me to stand next to me. I looked down at her. She looked up at me. It's okay. Let's see what she has to say, she said over our link. I gave her a nod before looking back at the elderly woman in front of us. Azalea, I must say, you are more beautiful than I imagined, she said warmly. Thank you, she said quietly. There was a pause before she continued, Madam Airless, why are you here? I could feel how nervous she was, but her voice did not waver. Straight to the point like your mother. I am here, Azalea, because your pack needs you. I am here because you have a responsibility to your blood and we need an alpha, she said calmly. No offense meant, but Blood Eclipse is my pack. And you have an alpha, she said. Her voice was calm, but I could feel everything swirling around her. Fear, unease, and even anger. But they did not accept you as Luna yet, she said with a knowing look on her face. The workings of our pack are none of your concern. Azalea is my mate and Luna, I growled. I felt her hand on my arm, trying to calm me. I am sorry, but I have no interest in coming to White Moon. It still does not change the fact that you currently have Alpha Isaac in charge, she said calmly. So, you do not know, said the old woman. She sighed. My son was foolish in thinking he could stop the threat to both your title and his own with only a small handful of warriors. Cole retaliated in kind after he killed those sent by my son to stop him. Cole and the few followers he had snuck into our pack and killed my son. They also slaughtered many of our pack members. I am afraid that I am here because we will fail if we cannot place our new alpha soon. My husband died some years ago now, and I cannot run the pack with my age. Azalea covered her mouth with her hand. Guilt started filling my chest. I am sorry to hear that, madam. But like Azalea said, she is not interested in coming to White Moon, I told her. But then who will teach her to control her gifts, she said. Azalea looked at me with wide eyes. Let me see. You look a little small to have any great power. Maybe you have the same gift as your mother. But no, you would be projecting your emotions on the whole room. The old lady looked Azalea up and down as she thought to herself. Unless you have no gift, she said inquisitively. I think this conversation is over. You will not try to bully or threaten my mate to save your pack. Maybe your alpha should have been less foolish and not underestimated the threat Cole presented. Damien will find you accommodations for the evening. Now if you will excuse us, I said. I grabbed Azalea's hand and led her from the room. Liam slowed down. Azalea panted as we were about halfway back to our room. I stopped realizing I was practically running out of anger. I am sorry, baby, I said guiltily. It's okay. Let's just go to bed, okay? She said softly. I led us to our room, more slowly this time. When we got inside, I sat on the bed running my hands over my face. Azalea came to stand in front of me. I pulled her close, laying my head on her chest. I am sorry about all this. We had such a great night, I told her. It's okay, she said, wrapping her arms around me. Her fingers wound through my hair, playing with it. I hummed. She giggled. I don't like when people interrupt my mate time, I grumbled. Oh, my alpha, she cooed. I looked up at her with a smirk. Little Luna, don't play dangerous games, I warned her. Maybe I enjoy games, my alpha, she said with a seductive grin. Gavin purred in my head. I stood up, catching her by surprise as I pulled her into a warm embrace. She laughed softly, wrapping her arms around me. I leaned in and kissed her, the moment charged with emotion. She smiled against my lips, returning the kiss. Azalea. Liam carried me into the bathroom, and I knew what he was thinking. Without ever breaking our kiss, he turned the shower on. My legs tightened around his waist as his hands came up to pull my coat off. It was quickly discarded on the floor as he got to work on my blouse. My hands grabbed the hem of his shirts and worked it up until he let me pull it over his head. His eyes were midnight blue in lust and longing. My eyes roamed his now naked chest hungrily. He growled, bringing my attention back to his face. His lips were on mine once more, possessing me with his kiss. My hands threaded their way into his soft, thick hair. He bit my lip, making my hands fist in his hair. Soon my bra was sliding down my arms, and he was throwing that away as well. His hands roamed my exposed skin, sending pleasure sparks all over me. I could already feel warmth pooling in my lower abdomen. He pulled at my hips, telling me to let go. He set me down on the ground, immediately dropping to his knees. My pants were at my ankles before my brain even knew what was happening. His nose dived into the apex of my thighs, inhaling deeply. I could feel my cheeks flame and heard his appreciative growl. "Kitten, you are intoxicating," he said. He stood back up, trailing his hands over my naked body. I ran my hands along his muscular chest, moving down to his hips. I don't know how, but his pants were gone, leaving him dangerously exposed. He caught my wrist before I could get any closer. His lips were once again on mine with a punishing ferocity. He kissed me like he needed me to breathe, and I melted under his touch. We stepped back into the cascading hot water, but did not stop. His hands reached for the soap, gathering some in his palm, before rubbing along every inch of me. My head rolled back, breaking our kiss as I let his touch consume me. Every inch part of me was aching for release as pleasure pooled in my abdomen. My hands were woven into his hair, pulling slightly as I panted. "Liam," I moaned his name. He spun me around and my arms came out to brace myself against the wall. His knee brushed against mine as he drew me closer. His body pressed against mine, and I felt my heart race. His lips found my neck, kissing softly around the mark he had left there. I leaned back against his shoulder, breathless. One hand rested gently at my waist while the other held me close. "Liam," I whispered his name again. "Yes, little Luna," he whispered huskily in my ear. "M" was all I could manage. He chuckled. "Does that feel good?" he whispered again. Again, all that I could manage was, My body was so close to release. My legs were beginning to quiver. "Oh, my little Luna," he said, his hand suddenly still. My eyes opened at the unexpected pause. "I need to hear you ask for it," he whispered. "Please, Liam," I begged breathlessly. "Try again," he teased. "Please, my alpha," I whispered, knowing it was exactly what he wanted to hear. A satisfied smile crossed his face as he pulled me closer, his touch becoming more tender and deliberate. My breath caught, and I found myself overwhelmed by the intensity of the moment. "Stay with me, little Luna," he whispered, his lips brushing the mark on her neck. She shuddered, overwhelmed by the intensity of the moment. Her legs trembled as she slowly regained her composure. "Good kitten, but I'm not done with you yet," he murmured in her ear as she began to calm down. In a flash, I was in his arms and we were exiting the shower. He turned the water off as we exited, but did not even bother to grab any towels as he took me back to the bedroom. His lips were on mine, moving in a possessive kiss. He dropped me on the bed and crawled over top of me. He ran his nose along my neck as my hands came up and wrapped around his. "So, little Luna, are you ready for more?" I nodded my head as he peppered kisses on my jaw and neck. One of his hands reached down and found its way back to my entrance. "What do you want, kitten?" he asked. My senses had not fully recovered from the shower, and I could not form coherent words. I let one of my hands trail down his body. He groaned under my touch. Soon I found exactly what I was looking for. My hand wrapped around his hard C. He hissed in my ear. "Kitten, stop," he said in a firm voice. His eyes locked on mine. I shook my head no at him. "Kitten, I am serious," he said. I could see the restraint on his features. He was holding on to every bit of his self-control. His hand stopped moving in and out of my pee. I could also feel his C hardening even more in my grasp. I moved my hand up and down slowly. "I am too," I said quietly. His eyes widened. "Azalea, are you saying?" I nodded my head, giving him a shy smile. "Are you sure?" he asked again. I nodded again. His smile slowly stretched across his beautiful face. And once again, his lips were on mine in a hard kiss. His touch returned, sending a shiver through me. The intensity of the moment overwhelmed my senses, and I let out a breathless sound as his lips met mine. I held on to him, the closeness between us making my heart race. For a moment, neither of us spoke. We simply stayed there, caught up in the intensity of the moment. A growl ripped through his chest. Surprising me once again, Liam rolled us over and sat up, so I was now on top of him. My legs straddled his lap with his length between us. He gave me a mischievous smirk. "Ready, little Luna?" I nodded my head. His eyes went serious for a minute. "I am going to go slow. Tell me if I need to stop, okay?" I nodded again, giving him a smile. I knew he was nervous, and so was I. I leaned forward and kissed his lips again, this time softly, with more tenderness than desire. His hands rested gently at my waist as he pulled me closer. We stayed wrapped in each other's arms, the moment filled with affection and anticipation. He broke our kiss, looking into my eyes. I gave him a slight nod, telling him I was ready. "I love you, Azalea," he whispered as he slowly lowered me onto his massive sea. I closed my eyes, taking a moment to adjust to the intensity of being so close to him. This time felt completely different. He stayed still, giving me a moment to breathe and settle. I felt overwhelmed by the closeness between us, my heart pounding as I held on to him. For a moment, everything else seemed to disappear. "Liam, please," I whispered, opening my eyes. The concern on his face quickly softened into a smile. Slowly, he pulled me closer, moving with me as we held each other. His lips brushed my neck, leaving gentle kisses along my skin. I wrapped my arms around his shoulders, holding him tightly as the moment grew more intense. The pressure was building inside me again, and Liam began to move faster. I was a moaning mess, letting him have complete control. Liam paused for a moment before gently turning us over. He settled beside me and pulled me close, his lips finding mine again as the intensity between us returned. Every moment felt more breathless than the last, and I held tightly to him as my emotions threatened to overwhelm me. His mouth moved to my neck once more. "Give in to the moment, baby," he whispered, before pressing a lingering kiss to his mark. A breathless scream escaped me as the intensity of the moment overwhelmed my senses. Liam soon grew still, and for a moment, neither of us moved as we caught our breath. His eyes met mine, and his expression was filled with tenderness. He rolled onto the bed and gently pulled me against his chest. I closed my eyes, relaxing in his arms as the last of the emotion slowly faded. Liam's hand gently roamed my skin as we laid there in silence. His nose nuzzled my head after a while. "Thank you, baby," he said quietly. I smiled, snuggling closer to him. I let myself fall into a restful sleep, knowing that no matter what, I could trust Liam, and he loved me completely.